Howdy folks, it's Age of the Hunting Gear Guy, and this is a Remington 581. It's a bolt-action 22. This one, the 581, uses a magazine. I believe there was also a 580, which was a single shot, and a 582, which is tube fed maybe, or something else. Anyways, they're all kind of based on the same action as the 581. This is probably the more popular ones. It's kind of an interesting little 22. Got a little bit of a weird history on it. So before we get too far, my chamber is empty, and so is my magazine. So why don't we take a closer look at this thing? Now, starting out at the back, we've got just a standard plastic butt plate. We've got a nice wood stock here. Now I found this thing is the cheek rest on this is sighted up for irons. So if you end up putting a scope on here, you're going to need a cheek rest of some kind. Like that kind of a weld. That's not a cheek weld. That's a chin weld. You need something to be able to pop it down there, and this doesn't have it, so we'd have to add a cheek rest to this if we were going to use it. The bolt is probably the more interesting part. I'm just going to show you how to take that bolt out. You see the safety here? Push the safety forward and hold it. It's spring loaded, and then you can take it out. Most 22s, you pull the trigger or something like that to pull them out. Not this one. And there's a reason why. The bolt uses 6 lugs. You see those lugs on the back there? This is really interesting. And this is Remington came out with the 788, which was a 308 rifle that used kind of like lugs in the middle of the bolt rather than the front. Only really good for 308 pressures. They made it for a while. It was like a more inexpensive way to do it, I guess, than the 700. So they offered that for a little while, and at the same time, they're like, "Oh yeah, we really like these multi-lugs. Let's throw them on a 22." I guess that's what the thought process was. I don't know. I wasn't there. So that's why we've got this multi-lugged 22 bolt, which is sort of unusual and not something you expect to see on a 22. And probably a lot stronger than it needs to be. Most 22s, like, they use the bolt handle, or they use like one little lug on the inside. This thing has got 6 of them for the lowly 22 LR. So to put that back in, we just push the bolt back, and then we have to move that safety up, and now we'll lock it in there. So that's kind of interesting. I don't know if it changes the bolt throw. Nah, the bolt throw looks like about the same. Maybe a little bit shorter. I don't know. The safety is right here. Safe is back towards you. Jeez, come on. Holy, it is a stiff safety. And then off safe is forward. Just a little flick and it'll go off. Decent safety. I'm not really a super big fan of the safeties on this side because you have to typically move your thumb to do it, but they're okay. The bolt is pretty smooth. About the same as a lot of other 22s out there that you'd see these days, Mark IIs and that kind of thing. Now the bolt turn-in on it is pretty stiff. You do need to put some pressure on there, but that's pretty similar to other ones. What's different on this one? You see that mag guide there? This is actually broken on this rifle when I got it. That actually fits into a slot on the back of the magazine. So that back of the magazine is hollow, and it goes into that guide, and then that spring clips on over top. So that's kind of interesting. This is a 5-shot. They've also got 10-shot mags that you can use with this rifle, and they just kind of fit in there. It'd be nice if that was flush, right? Like if you're going to make a short mag, make it flush. If you're going to make a mag that sticks out, go for 10 or more. That would be interesting. So that's the magazine on there. The receiver is milled for dovetail, so you can use standard rimfire rings on there, which if you've seen any of my other videos on rimfire rifles, I hate those. But at least these guys have an excuse, because way back when, this is way all of the 22s were done. We've got a spot for the rear sight. Rear sight's been taken off on this one, and taken off on the front as well. And then we've got some steel sling swivels. Just in case anyone out there has one of these and they want to take it apart, or they're missing a part or something like that, I'll take this one apart. So our action screw is right there. That's going to hold in. Find yourself a good fitting flathead screwdriver. Once that action screw is removed, you can pull the action apart. Now the bottom metal just stays on the gun. It's screwed in with a couple of screws fore and aft, and it just stays in there. And here are the guts of the rifle itself. There's our trigger pack. There's that mag guide that I showed you there. This front part here is just plastic. So this is just a plastic cover right here. It's not doing anything. We can see that the barrel is held in with these two pins driven in here. And with the trigger assembly, you can actually see that little steel bit right there. That's actually pushing on the bolt hold. So to take the bolt out, that's why you need to push the safety forward. Because it's actually operating on that steel guy right there. See him going up and down? That's the safety, and that's acting right there. Kind of interesting. So again, that was the Remington 581, just a standard bolt-action rifle from the past. A couple of innovations in here that didn't really make it out past to be used on other 22s, which means they probably weren't that good of an idea anyways. We don't really see this hollow guide being used much, but some of the Savages and some of the Marlins use a guide rib, just not one with a hole through it like that. And the multi-lug bolt in the middle, we don't really see that being used very much on this kind of rifle either anymore. So that didn't really go anywhere, but really cool rifle anyways. That's kind of a little bit old. Thanks for watching.